Welcome once more to Dhare's Dosage. I'm Dháre, and we are on day 19 of our Absolutely Authentic series. If I seem elevated or blissful or joyful, it's just because I am. It's been a very, very pleasant day. Got to spend some time with an old friend of mine, me, my little ones, and her. We just had an awesome Sunday together and reconnected after a very long period of time of not being able to do so. So it was a very rejuvenating start to the week, I say. And on top of that, it is a new moon, start of a fresh new cycle. So I've very much been feeling in the energy of that. Actually, yesterday I kept thinking it was the new moon. Ahead of time, I knew that it was this coming Sunday, but I swear when I woke up yesterday, for the longest, I kept thinking it was a new moon day. And then at some point during the day, I thought, oh wait, it's Saturday, it's happening tomorrow. Anyhow, new moon. Some of you may be familiar with the term or what that means. And if not, I'll give you just a super brief rundown. This in particular is not necessarily going to be an astrological video, but if you know me or seen some of the other videos, y'all know that I do study my astrology and I know a little something. But in terms of moon cycle and then moon cycle, so the moon goes through cycles of about every 28 days. So it goes through stages of being what's considered a new moon or the dark moon, where the moon is not visible in the sky whatsoever. And then over the period of 21 days, it's going through the process of waxing. And in the process of waxing, the moon is gaining more and more light, receiving more and more light to the sun up until the point where it reaches a full moon. So you have your new moon, the moon is waxing, becoming from that little crescent, gaining more and more light, reaching its first quarter, and then reaching more and more light, and then reaching the fullness of the full moon where it is completely illuminated by the sun. And then the cycle continues as the moon starts decreasing in the light that it's receiving from the sun. It starts waning and becoming that crescent once more, less and less light, becoming from half to a smaller and smaller crescent up until the point of becoming a new moon once more. So that's just a general basis of the moon cycle that we experience, and whether we realize it or not, we are all affected by on this planet because we are beings, we are elemental beings. We are very much affected by the elements of the universe, the planets, the moon being a body up in the astrological skies as well. So just know that whether or not you choose to dive into the depths of that to have deeper understanding is up to you. You don't have to. I personally think it's a great thing to know because it helps you to have further knowledge of yourself. It helps you to have further knowledge of those around you in your life. And then if you kind of know how to work with the cycles of thing, whether it be moon cycles or being aware of what zodiac season we're in, it'll give you information about kind of where the world is around you, what's happening energetically. You know, it's really just information that you can use, that you can harness to your advantage to be able to work in a flow of things. All right, so if you're actually catching this today on the new moon, happy new moon to you. And if not, happy day to you, or whatever it is time that you are viewing this. That being said, the topic for today, in light of it being a new moon, I know some people, maybe if you're watching this, you're someone who kind of keeps up with those cycles or metaphysics. So you might be familiar with some of the common things that people do during a new moon versus a full moon. So for example, during a new moon, a lot of people understand that it's a great time for setting new intentions and setting new goals and speaking out what it is that you want to bring into fruition over the coming weeks of your life. Because think about it being a clean slate, right? The moon is dark. Think of it being like fresh, clean. All right, we'll start a new moon. So what is it that I want to bring new into my life? So that's kind of the energy that's appropriate for working with during that time. And then when the moon is fully illuminated, you'll hear about people focusing on things about, okay, what has been brought into fruition? What did I grow during this time? What is it that I've kind of like harvested, so to speak? What can I be thankful for? What energy have I gathered in assessing things that way? So those are just kind of some general energetic principles, ways that the new and full moon can be work with, in terms of energy and self-assessment and where you are in life. That being said, I know I said this in particular wasn't going to be an astrological video, but it just flows so naturally. So don't get mad at me if I got little things to share, little things to talk about. Anyhow, on topic, I'm sure you're wondering, what are you even talking about today? In light of it being a new moon and the fact that this is often a time that people use to reflect and set intentions, I wanted to share with you that whether or not you're into the whole moon magic, moon cycle ordeal phenomenon, it really made me think that it's important regardless to have periods of periodic reflection in your life. It's absolutely crucial and it's critical. We want to make sure that we're not just moving through life day by day. If you have like a job that you have to go into, just working for that paycheck, or what have you, just going through life without assessment. Because if you're not assessing where you are, then it's kind of hard to, I'll say, set new actions or to refocus or to reset or steer yourself in a certain direction if you haven't had some moments to just stop and ponder about where you are and where you have been. All right, so I'm here to say that even if you're not one to work with moon cycles in particular, make sure that you have a format that you personally can regularly assess yourself. And I'm going to drop one piece of advice for you, and that. So me personally, so aside from being aware and acknowledging moon cycles and learning how to harness energy that way, just a general way, like I say, even if you're not into the metaphysics and all that, one way that I can recommend to you as a period of assessment is pick the date of your birth. So for example, I was born on the 28th. So maybe you're born on the 13th, or the 4th, on the 22nd, whatever that date of your birth is, doesn't matter what month, pick that date every single month of the year to have a specifically you day and an assessment day. So say you're born on December 4th, then January 4th, February 4th, March, April, May 4th. Pick all of those days of the month to make sure that you're, even if you've got busy other stuff going on, it's okay. That's totally fine. Do what you got to do, but somehow carve out a little bit of extra time for yourself to stop and think and reflect. Okay, how has the past month been for me? Or another way you can look at things is in terms of quarters, like me and my brother, who I have 3 brothers, but technically 5, because I got a couple half brothers too. I don't know why I whispered that. I had a couple half brothers as well. My father had 2 sons before he met my mother. Anyhow, me and one of my brothers, one things that we used to do a lot is look at quarters of the year. So assess ourselves by the quarter. We would legit like sit in our apartment living room and be like, okay, Q1, how did it go? Grade ourselves. Oh, that was the A. I remember one year I was like, oh, the Q1, quarter 1, because that's what they do in the business world. They break things up by quarters. 3 months, 3 months, 3 months, 3 months, 12 months in a year. Anyhow. And whatever year that was, I was like, yeah, Q1, I give myself an A. Then Q2, that was an A minus. Q3, how did I let that slip to a C? And we were giving ourselves grades for the quarters and just talking and reflecting. So that's another way. I know I said I was going to present one way, but that's another way that you can self-assess your lives, is by stopping quarterly and assessing. So after the first 3 months of the year, or wherever you started, January, February, March, or April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. You can count it by 3s, all right? So you can assess it by quarter. But I highly, highly recommend that, if not that, at the very, very least, choose the date of your birth. And the reason why that works out so well is because everybody knows their own birthday. So it's very easy to remember. You know, you can't tell me that every day of the month, say you're a 14, that when the 14th come around, you don't think a little bit, oh, like that's my day. If not, I hope you do now, because I know for me, every 28th of the month, I'm like, yeah, that's my day. So use that as a period of reflection. Very, very simple method. I just wanted to throw out there to you all. Hopefully you remember it. Hopefully you pocket it. And hopefully it allows you to bring more and more growth to yourself in your life. And I gotta wrap this up now because my little one is downstairs with my sister and I hear him starting to go off. He needs his mommy and his mommy milk. All right, so happy new moon, as I said, or happy day. I send you so much peace and power and love, and may you be supremely well.